Ladies and gentlemen, it is July 3rd. I think I said June the other day. I don't remember, but it is July now, July 3rd, day before 4th of July. Pretty much morning, I guess slightly more eventful than usual. So morning, typical 5 a.m. wake up, had my morning job. Got off a little early because I had to go get some car maintenance stuff situated because I didn't want to wait any longer. Everything else was done, brake pads, oil change, all that was done. And then I just needed to really get my transmission fluid change ASAP, my filter. I actually also threw in a new Transpan, more durable, a lot stronger than the plastic one that comes with. But got that situated, went to the shop, actually put on the drag pack as well. Actually had to order out drag springs for the rear, so now it sits almost perfect. I'll try to throw in some pictures as well. But the only problem is that now there's like a slight, so it was like this before. Now there's like a slight rake, obviously because they're taller tires. They're 45 sidewalls in the back, and it was 35 originally. But I had those drag springs installed to fit them. And then it actually slightly tilted it forward. So that means the front splitter is dragging like a motherfucker, and that is annoying. You have no idea. It's such a pain to get up things. And really, I guess mainly, not necessarily the upwards things. It's the downwards into like a dip of some sort. So in Vegas, some streets are not the best. Some entryways to shopping centers, gas stations are not the best, so it's a little tricky if you have like a lowered car. Those of you that are native from here know what I mean. But literally today alone, like getting into that shop was a fucking mission. Like there was, to top it off, like this place had like entryways that go like this sideways and then the other sideways, and then I had to cross the opposite side because that's where the shop was. So I had to do some maneuvering. So on the way in was comfortable, nice and comfortable. The issue was the way out. Like the way out was such a pain. Like back to back, like little fucking events. So the first one, I literally I literally heard like scraping and like snapping. I literally thought I fucking snapped my splitter again. Which those of you that don't know, the first day I got this thing lowered to how it was originally, I literally snapped my front splitter on the first fucking day, which was fucking annoying. But if I have pictures of that, I'll show it as well. I don't know if I do. But got that situated, and then now I put new stuff on. So literally on the way out as well, I had to back out and go around. Some guy was telling me, you should go this way because it's better. So I did that, and then I ran into another issue on the exit. It's a fucking slump like this. So I had to go literally diagonal like this, and even then it's still fucking scraped on the left side, the left bottom side. Obviously I'm not like a pro at driving a little low, especially the front end. So I'm kind of learning how to do it. Eventually I'll probably get a little better. But literally some of the paint already came off of the corner. Looks like a tiny piece came off, like very tiny. Obviously, to the common eye, like these things don't matter. Like you can't really see it. Honestly, you can't really see it. But for me, I can see it, and that shit is annoying and pisses me off. But honestly, worst case, if it just becomes an issue with the front splitter, I'm just gonna have to remove it. But it won't look too bad without it. It just looks more complete with it, I guess. But I don't want to raise up the front either because it looks perfect right now as is. Literally looks perfect. But the only I guess solutions would be to raise up the front, which I don't want to do. So that's out of the question. And then the only other thing would be to remove the splitter. So it goes on the bottom of the bumper. You could just remove that. It won't be an issue, but then it won't look the same. But whatever, right? You got to get used to it. If it keeps fucking scraping, if you're gonna risk fucking breaking it again, spending another $200 to get a new splitter, get it painted, why am I gonna go through all that if I'm gonna keep doing it? So I'm gonna kind of play it by eye or event, I guess. if I keep fucking running into this back to back to back, then I'm just gonna take that shit off. But anyways, enough blabbering about my car stuff, my car situations. Already had pretty much went there, literally got back right on time to get shower and get ready and go to train my clients. And now I think I had 3 clients today, took care of those, drove home, and it started fucking raining as I was leaving, which is bad. Some car guys may know, like riding on the drag pack in rain, not a good idea. But I took the streets all the way here. Wasn't too bad. It was like 30 minutes or so, and then was driving like a fucking grandma. People were on my ass. Hyundais. I don't know how do you say it. Hondas, Toyota Camrys were on my ass. Fucking grandmas and shit. But whatever. Got home now. But what should we talk about today? Why don't we talk about something more unorthodox? So real quick, if you haven't noticed, a lot of these vlogs, they're just off the top, almost like freestyle. I know I prefer to do this way just to keep things like more natural, not fucking scripted, which is okay, but I don't know. I feel like it's more cool and more enjoyable natural. But as I was saying, something more unorthodox. So stretching. So let's talk about stretching before training. Should you stretch before training? So right off the bat, no, you should not stretch before training, especially static stretching. So static stretching meaning you're still. You're static, it means you're not moving. So this is the worst thing you could do. And honestly, any kind of stretching, not the best idea before any kind of training, even if it's warming up. After you warm up, like warm-up sets, warm-up exercises, you can stretch a little bit, but try not to be excessive with it, especially before training. Do not do that. That only puts you at risk of straining. Just think about it. Your muscles are cold, and you're kind of putting them in lengthened positions. You're stretching them. So just think about it. Like, they're gonna be pissed off, and you might strain something. Like, I mean, God forbid, obviously, but it's not the idea. So you should always save your stretching for after you're done. So what I do advise is you warm up and whatnot, then you can stretch a little bit, but don't get in it excessively. But besides this, if you start to like stretch excessively, let's say after warming up or even before training, like what some people like to do, which I don't know why to this day. But the problem with that is that there's studies that literally prove that if you stretch before training, that significantly decreases your performance during the duration of the training. So let's say you're going to do squats or something and you stretch your legs before static stretching, or whatever it may be, whatever it is, dynamic stretching, whatever. You're more likely to perform less than if you didn't. If you think I'm crazy, or if you think that case study's crazy, try it out for yourself, see how it feels. That's the number one recommendation I could give always. Try something out, see how it feels. You probably like it better. You're still gonna stretch, but you're allowing your muscles to keep up, warm up properly, and then you can stretch a little bit and continue forward. The main like I said, the main point is that don't do it while you're not warmed up. That's it. And don't do it excessively before you start doing your main compounds and heavy lifts. Always do that stuff first, and at the very end of the workout, you can stretch as much as you want, all day, 4 hours if you want. But that's really it. I'm sure I'm forgetting a few points here and there, but that's the main thing. Don't stretch before training. But please leave a like, subscribe, comment, and share, and follow me on TikTok and Instagram.